So I'm on my way down to Essex to meet Mitch Nunn, who's a HMO developer, and we're heading to the Southend and Westcliff area of Essex, where we'll be hopefully taking a tour of a number of his projects that he's got on the go at the moment. He specialises in typically taking residential property and converting it into C4 or large Sui Generis HMOs. And I've written a list of questions which I'm going to quiz him on, which I hope the viewers will find of interest. So if you're into HMO conversions or you're looking to get started, hopefully you'll find this video of interest. So follow us as we go down to see Mitch Nunn. Hi guys, so I'm here with Mitch in Southend, and today we're going to go and have a look around 3 of his properties. The first one is one that he's just about to acquire, or he's in the process of acquiring. Then we'll take a tour around a project which is currently in construction. And then finally, we're going to get to have a look at one of his more finished projects. So thanks for seeing us, mate.
Thank you.
Appreciate you showing us around these properties and getting to have a bit of an insight into what you do. So I've got some questions for you, if that's okay. For anyone who doesn't know, tell us a little bit about yourself to start with, if that's okay.
Yeah, so Mitch Nunn. I'm southeast based in Essex and property investor for about 12 years now. And sort of the focus now is, as we're going to see today, is HMOs. We always do Sui Generis, more larger scale HMOs. Yeah, so that's it really.
Excellent. Okay, so we've got property here behind us, and this is a project that you've purchased or in the process of purchasing.
Yeah.
So could I ask, for the purpose of the viewers, how did you secure this property?
Yeah.
If we could start off with that.
Yeah, so it was quite creative because we had an offer accepted about 2 weeks ago, and what we did with the vendor is we entered into an exclusivity agreement. So that's just basically a couple of page document that the solicitor draws up, and we enter into that, and the terms around that is that we'll secure a 5% deposit with the solicitor, and if we pull out, we lose the deposit. If the vendor pulls out, he'll be responsible for our cost to date. We've also given him 2 months rent, so £2,400 rent, and for that we then get a key undertaking, so we get access to the property early while we're going through the conveyancing, and we can start works pretty much straight away. So
amazing. So HMO developer, that's your focus, trying to build a large HMO portfolio. What's the reason that you've chose the Southend Westcliff area for your investments?
So it's probably 20 minutes from my doorstep.
Yeah.
So obviously we're doing developments, we take the houses back to brick. So, you know, every project is circa 20 weeks.
Yeah.
So obviously there's a lot of management involved, so we need to be able to be hands-on. Also, it's a non-Article 4 area, so we can go to a 6-bed under permitted development, and then obviously full planning application for the additional bedrooms. Also, it's just I think it's the right price point as well. You know, these houses we're picking up for sort of 300 to 350 grand.
Yes. So what was this one here? How much did you secure this for?
So this was on the market for free. Well, it wasn't on the market. This is an off-market deal. It was the vendor wanted 350, but I agreed 325.
325. Okay, so a big lump for 325,000.
So this is circa 1,300 square foot, and that's another thing with the area, and you'll hear me talk a lot about that, is that, you know, when you're converting houses to HMOs, you've got to have the right stock. So these large Victorian houses, they're much bigger than the 1950s, you know, smaller built houses. So, you know, they're perfect for conversion.
Amazing. So close to where you live, the right stock, the price point's
non-Article 4.
Non-Article 4. And in terms of the profile of the tenants that are moving into these type of properties, is that working professionals, or is that housing benefit tenants, or what's the profile of the people that are moving in?
Yeah, so at the moment we're just working with working professionals. Okay. So because our average room rent in the area is about £800 a month.
Wow.
You know, some rooms are 1,000. Our lowest room's 700, and that'll be a room with an off-suite. So we get working professionals, doctors, nurses, you know, high school teachers. You know, we've got a really good tenant profile. So.
And are these people working locally, or do they commute to London?
A lot of them are working at Southend Hospital.
Okay,
obviously, we've got the airport as well. You know, Southend has become a city recently as well, so there's investment coming in the area. And but a lot of them, because it's obviously a sustainable location, so there's good transport links. We've got train stations, so you can go to London in 45, 50 minutes. So yeah.
Amazing. So we're all right to have a look inside here and then see what your plans are. I'd be keen to know if you're doing loft conversions, extensions, because that's my bag. I love the old construction side. Yeah. But we can get inside.
Yeah, let's go.
Amazing. Okay. Cool. So we've had a little look around this property, and hopefully some of that footage should come up on the screen now. What's quite clear from what I'm seeing is that you're buying the fixer-uppers. You're not buying the houses that are all done up that you convert. You're buying the worst on the street.
Yeah.
So can you talk to us a little bit about, you know, what you're looking for a perfect HMO conversion?
Yeah. So again, you know, it's that large Victorian house. This large Victorian house. This one's actually in a much better.
Why specifically Victorian though?
Because the Victorian house is just much larger in size. So this is about 1,300 square foot.
Yeah.
So you've got obviously more scope to be able to convert that.
Yeah.
Whereas if you look at like a 1950s build, you know, they're roughly about 1,000 square foot for your family home. So they're a lot harder to convert. So
yeah.
This one's actually in a lot better condition than the other ones we've bought, because externally, you know, it's all externally rendered.
Yeah.
It's all got UPVC windows. It's got quite a good roof on it. It's actually in quite good condition inside as well.
It's not too bad.
It's not too bad. What we're looking for is really, because we always go back to brick, remove chimney breasts, etc.
Yeah.
We're not too worried about the internal condition. It's more to do with the size of the property.
Okay.
But as long as it's structurally sound.
Yeah. So this is to get minimum space standards for communal kitchen area, bedroom sizes, and you're putting en suites in all the rooms.
We always do. Yeah. So we always do en suites if they fit.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll have an off suite, but we always do 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, so there's no shared bathroom facilities.
Okay, amazing. Right, so that gives us an idea of the floor plate and what you're looking for. But the Victorian properties, a lot of time they have this L-shaped outrigger. Yeah. And do you put loft conversions on, or not always?
So the one we'll go to next, we have done a loft conversion, and we are going to make that an 8-bed. It can be a 9-bed because we've got a separate communal room. But on this one, we are just going to do 7-bed on the existing footprint. Yeah. Because obviously at your HMO workshop that we did, we believe that's a bit of a sweet spot in what we're doing, because obviously less cost, but you're still getting Sui Generis commercial valuation. So
no cost of doing the loft conversion. Then,
exactly.
So PD application to 6-bed all en suite, and then go Sui Generis. Not as many objections just because you're adding 1 bedroom, basically doing it that way.
Yeah, it's not really a material change going from 6 to 7. Obviously, we have got. One of the objections may be car parking, but obviously because it's a sustainable location, we don't really need parking, but we can fit 2 cars on the front, so there really shouldn't be any objections going from a 6 to a 7.
Yeah, okay, amazing. And then you spoke a little bit about you securing this property direct to vendor.
Yeah.
And I'm sure some of the viewers will be quite intrigued on how you do that. Could you talk us a little bit through how you might find a direct to vendor property?
I mean, it did actually come through an agent, but it was off market.
I see, right, okay, I see what you mean.
I think it's because, you know, we document, and we've obviously got a social profile, we document what we're doing. What we're finding is now when something comes up that an agent believes is suitable, they actually come to us direct.
I see what you mean. So what you're saying to the viewers, Mitch, is that you are the HMO king of Southend.
Well, you said it, not me.
And these agents are actually sending you properties that you've said, I want this is my price bracket. Yeah. If you find something, come to me. So
absolutely, and obviously when we run HMO tours, we actually get a lot of the estate agents come to those, so they can understand what is what makes a good HMO versus what doesn't. So amazing.
Okay. Let's go on to the next property and see one that's in construction. So follow us on to the next property, guys. Right, so we're here at the second property, and this is my favourite phase of the HMO conversion process, which is the construction bit. Not so sure if Mitch likes this as much as I do, but we thought we'd come and show you a real life project that is actually under construction, a big lump of a property that's being converted into a large HMO, Mitch's speciality. So for the purpose of the viewers again, could you talk through what you purchased the property for, and then what you're doing to it, and those sort of numbers for us, if you can?
Yeah, absolutely. So bought the property for 335,000, and we're probably, because we're doing a loft conversion on this to create, it's actually going to be an 8-bed in planning, but it does actually have 9 bedrooms. So in time we can maybe scale up to 9 bedrooms. So we're going to spend about 220,000 on the conversion.
Cool. Is that everything from start to finish, the construction costs? So that's loft conversion.
That's every loft conversion, literally back to brick, chimney breasts out, literally, everything.
Rewire, replumb.
Rewire, plumbing.
So plumbing wise, system boiler with a cylinder, 400 litre cylinder. We've got 2 cylinders.
We always do 2 cylinders. We always do like a 30 kilowatt boiler and 2 250 litre water tanks.
So plenty of supply. And how many bathrooms in this property?
there's going to be 8.
Cool. So a lot of planning to get the sewage out and all that sort of stuff goes into these projects. Exactly. I guess you get that all drawn out by your architects on the design and stuff, do you? Or
yeah, exactly. I mean, as we go inside, you'll see the sort of, that's why we drop the ceilings, so we can get the run on the wastes for the en-suites, and you can see that on the side of the building where the soil stacks are coming out.
Okay. So again, just trying to think of things that the viewers might be interested in knowing. But as we're going through this, if you guys have got any questions, just pop them down in the comment section below, and we'll come back to you with answers. If you were talking to someone now who's just getting started in HMO conversions, and perhaps they were going to get stuck in with a simple C3 to C4 6-bed all ensuite projects, and they're not going to scale up to Sui Generis because that does have its complications in terms of soundproofing, additional building regs. But what would you say is the biggest hurdle for a new developer coming in who wants to do a construction project like this, and especially if they don't have that much experience around construction? What would you say is the biggest challenge that they would face?
I would say probably understanding the regulations that come with a HMO, because I think what I've seen a lot of the time is people go out to builders and they'll quote for work, but there's no spec in place. So it's understanding the specification that's required to achieve building control sign-off for a 6-bed. Probably.
So we're talking fireproof doors,
fireproofing, and like obviously fire alarm,
self-closing hinges, everything with the spec. So it's making sure the builder knows how to do that, because a lot of people just general builder might do a loft conversion for a family
on a residential home.
So that's the key thing, is making sure you find someone. And then, so intriguingly, your structure's quite similar to mine actually. I run and own my own construction company, and that's how I keep the costs down. You are project managing with people on day rates, and then you bring in subcontractors for certain specialities. But does that help you keep the build cost down doing that, rather than just going to one main contractor and handing it over?
I mean, what we've found is that because we've got an in-house build team, we've got about 6 lads, we do sub out some of the packages, which will be plumbing, electrics, plastering, tiling and decorating. That's what we do sub out, but keep everything else in-house. And that, from a cost perspective, that does allow us to manage our costs, but also from a timing aspect as well. We're doing a lot of developments, so we can sort of, ensure that we're, converting these within a given time, and also keep the team rolling, and obviously trying to achieve some sort of scale.
And then at that, you mentioned 220 grand, which when you think about the cost of actually buying a property at 335,000 plus stamp duty plus legals, and then you're actually spending, what's that, 70% of the value of the purchase price on the construction. So bear in mind, you've added a floor, you've gutted it, it's nothing like what it was. It's going to be a large commercial HMO, hopefully valued at a lot of money. But does that scare you, with that sort of money that you're spending on these properties, or how do you feel about spending that sort of money?
Not really, because we've done so many now, and we know, got a lot of comparable evidence on what the end value is going to be, and because this is Sui Generis, it's going to get a commercial valuation whereby the valuation is going to be derived by the rent that it achieves. And obviously we know where we stand with that, and because we don't sell anything, we just got to refinance it. It feels within our control. Yes, it's a lot of money, but you've got a great asset at the end of it.
And you own it and you control it, so the better product, the longer it's going to last, less maintenance.
And we always sort of, do the construction with that in mind, that we're going to retain these assets for 20 years, and we do everything to a high standard.
Amazing. And then the final thing I'll touch on, materials. So obviously materials over the years, certainly since the COVID period, have shot up in price. And so in terms of when you're sourcing materials, well, I mean, at the moment I have a few different accounts of various different builders merchants. Some give a good discount on one product, but then another product, it's not so good. And for certain projects where I'm ordering large amounts of materials, I'll go direct to supplier. So I'll go directly to gypsum or to the brick wholesaler, for example. Slightly different on HMOs. But do you have preferred retailers that you buy from, and or are you trying to keep it all local in the area where you use the internet, for example? How do you source your materials?
I think we've got also local trade suppliers, again PGR, we've got credit accounts with them. I think because we've built up trading history, when you're providing credit, that does help. When you're cash flowing these deals, and obviously multiple deals, that allows you to sort of get the drawdown, clear the account. It's obviously managing cash flow within that. But what we have found is there's a lot of local independent traders as well that are actually really competitive on price. So for example, on this one, we were paying about £30 a square metre on tiles. With Tile Giant more recently. On this one, we've sourced locally, we got that for £21 a square metre. we're starting to get certain savings now.
Yeah, it all adds up, doesn't it? That's the thing, yeah. So a sheet of insulation in one supply and another one might be £5 difference, and if you're ordering a load of them, it
we've just done that with Howdens as well, because they've done a price match on some skirting and architraves that we found. And, we're talking pounds per length, but over multiple projects, over the years.
Makes a huge difference.
So to add up.
Absolutely. Right, could we have a quick whiz inside here and have a look?
Yeah, cool.
Let's have a look. Right, so we're here at the final project that we're going to look at today, and this is the finished product. This is the bit that looks great on Instagram. Go check out Mitch's Instagram if you haven't already. I'm sure you'll find him on there. We're going to go inside, we're going to have a look at this finished large HMO. But before we do that, I'm just going to get Mitch to talk a little bit about the valuation on this property and how he's designed this space, which will show you inside the kind of quality of the product that he's actually delivering. So over to you, Mitch. If you could tell us a little bit about the valuation and what you're actually creating here at Spaces.
Yeah, so this is a house we bought for 300,000. We spent about 220,000 on this because again we did an L-shaped loft conversion, and it's going to be an 8-bedroom, 8-bathroom HMO. So we're looking to achieve, commercial valuation. Commercial valuation. Obviously, we've been discussing those earlier, but it's going to be somewhere north of 750. We're hoping for. So
750,000. So you've heard that here, guys. Look, purchased at a great price. Considerable amount spent on it, but the end valuation really shows. And this will be a high yielding product that you'll want to hold for a long time. Hence the reason you spent that much money on it.
Of course.
In terms of hurdles, again, because I think always it's good to show the good bits, but it's also good to now show any hurdles you had. So is there any particular challenges on this property, or was it all plain sailing? Or
there was a few issues. The construction of the dormer, we incurred a bit of an issue with that, so we had to make some slight amendments. That's been done now, so that was, every day's a learning day, so we sort of take that away as a bit of a learning curve. But no, I mean, it's probably been quite straightforward in terms of the conversion. So
amazing. So we've worked out GDVs. Hopefully, this should value up 750 to 800,000, roughly 90 to 100k a room, and that's a Sui Generis large HMO that's going to be valued on a yield basis. But in terms of rental income, because that's the reason that we do these HMO conversions, it's all about getting that income that surpasses what a typical buy-to-let would give you. I hear your room rents are breaking barriers in the area. So what sort of money are you achieving for each room?
So we always work on an average room rent of about 800, but as I said, I think I said it earlier, we do some rooms we've achieved £1,000, depending on size. That might be like a 15 square metre room with an ensuite and a little kitchenette. It's £1,000, but probably the cheapest room is 700, and that is the small room at 8.5 square metres with an off-suite. So that's the sort of range. We always work on £800, but we've actually had the council here today to look to take the whole house, and they're talking about a room rent of £900 per bedroom on this.
Amazing, and so you said all your properties are professional tenants, but you're actually considering trying a council one as well, rather than always having private tenants.
Yeah, because we're working in such a small area, we're conscious of saturating the market. So we are looking at NHS, some assisted living, and sort of work with different tenant profile outside of just
spreading the risk a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing. Right, let's get on inside and have a look through this one, and then we'll finish up at the end showing you the back of the property, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about something that Mitch has got going on very shortly, which if you stay tuned to the end, you'll be intrigued to find out what we've got going on. Right, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, I really appreciate if you could like, comment, subscribe to the channel for more content. But before I let you go, and I mentioned this earlier, I wanted to hand over to Mitch to talk a little bit about something that he's got going on starting in around September time. And me coming down to Essex to get a look at the product and the concept and exactly how he's doing it. It's really opened my eyes to how he's building this brand here, Spaces. It's a fantastic concept. I've dabbled with HMOs over the years, but it's not been something I've fully gone into as a main business. So, Mitch, can you tell us a little bit about the HMO Academy that's kicking off in the next 6-7 weeks' time for the viewers? And if anyone's interested, I'm going to put all this down in the description below, links to how to follow Mitch and how to get on the waiting list for the HMO Academy that's starting shortly.
Yeah, so obviously, as you said, we're putting together the HMO Academy, which is, it's like an educational community. So people that are interested in just the HMO process, understanding the process. It's going to be a 12-month program, and you know, as you've seen in the video today, you're going to be learning every step of that process, from acquiring the right properties to the construction process, the financing of those, and really that whole process. And I think because it is something that people will need to build confidence in, you know, being part of that community and obviously bouncing off like-minded investors is going to be really important. So
it's all those complexities as well, isn't it, of where to do it, how to do it, and holding people's hand to get them through, not literally, but you're literally giving people this guidance. So would you say it's for new HMO investors, or is it more for people that are already established, or could it be for both?
I think it would be for people that have probably got an understanding of property, where you may have got a few buy-to-lets, you've maybe done a few flips, and you like the idea of building high cash flowing assets, you know, which, you know, HMO provides that. So, you know, someone that wants to go, is a bit more of a complex strategy. So, you know, moving up into the world of HMO, and, you know, and obviously we'll build that confidence so you can, you know, go out there and achieve it.
Amazing. So as I said, I'll put the link to HMO Academy. Go check that out. Once again, thank you so much to Mitch. Go check him out on Instagram if you're not doing that already. And we'll see you at the next video.
Cheers.
These parts, mate, yeah? South East London. Don't come this way.